have that epiphany at some point in their life, or musicians, whether they've taken mushrooms or not, or whatever, or even carpenters. We've seen it happen in all sorts of trades and fields and anything. You can have that epiphany. You don't need mushrooms, but it's almost like it speeds it up, or it can trigger it. It's almost like, I'd like to have an epiphany now.
Yeah.
Eat some of these, and next thing you know, you're looking at your life with a totally different point of view. But if you abuse it, which people tend to do, especially with any drug, people will abuse it.
You hit to the pleasant feelings of it.
Yeah, and you start to not have a taste for it, and you only have that point of view, and that's not what you want. You take psychedelics so you can have another point of view and be more educated on the situation. But if you're always stoned or at that point of view, you only ever have that one point of view still. So you're not really exploring at that point. You're just taking a different path and just staying on that path. It's like, that's what I like about certain drugs. You can explore different points of view.
Yeah, man.
The drunk point of view is definitely going to be different than a stone point of view, than a sober point of view on how to play guitar. You talk to me at all different stages of that. Or if I'm hyped up on caffeine. Caffeine's the worst for me.
Yeah.
I do caffeine before I start teaching. I am like a rocket in there. I'm just like going, talking, playing all sorts of things. It's like, this is not me at all. It's weird.
Man, it was crazy earlier today, just like the addiction to caffeine became so clear, just because we were running late, we got held up, we had to go salt someplace real quick before roofing, and just like the day seemed like it was kind of janked from the get-go, and we also had this big safety audit that day too, and we just didn't have the time, we had to get after it, and we just drove by all the possible places to grab coffee, and I slept in too late, so I couldn't make my own. And as soon as I realized we were just going right to work, and I was okay with it, I knew we had to do it, it made sense and everything, but my heart broke.
You wanted it so bad, you were just like, this would just make my day.
It was like, I was just like, oh, damn it.
And I'm like that with labor jobs too, dude.
And we had coffee at lunch, man, changed my life.
I know.
I'm a bad person, man. I'm not a good guy.
It's
they gotta get the caffeine into me, and I'll be way nicer to everybody.
The thing is, man, again, it's a drug. It's abused.
Yeah.
And used, it's amazing. I love when I have coffee. Normally, what I'll try and do is not give my company that I'm working for my best hours of the day, because I'm selfish. I'm making an album. I want my best hours of the day to be on my stuff. So I'll try and go all day without a coffee, drink a coffee, and then work on my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm zooming. I love doing that. But
that's a good idea.
Coffee is such a luxury, a beautiful thing. It's amazing. I love coffee. I just don't drink it very often. I've been on tea. I'll try and get a tea every day now. I probably haven't had coffee in weeks.
Nice, man.
It's been almost a couple months since I've been off it regularly. So I probably had 2 or 3 coffees in the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, man. It becomes nicer too. Even just more moderation. You enjoy those things
so much more.
It's all about
sleep for me, dude. I just sleep.
Yeah.
I just sleep, and then I don't feel like I need a coffee. I wake up and I'm well rested. But I do love those days when I have coffee. It's great. I just don't want to abuse it and lose that oomph that it really has.
I've been trying just to any day I don't work, which isn't really often, but just not having coffee on days off. I'm just okay, I don't really have a reason to
have coffee on your days off. That's what I say. Try not to have coffee when you're at work. Don't give them your best hours.
I gotta start with baby steps.
With physical labor, it's so hard, dude, because you've been relying on that artificial energy for so long.
It's so bad.
You have an expectation, a social expectation with everyone to perform a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
You know that coffee makes or breaks your day. So you have a coffee, you're up there on the roof first thing in the morning, zooming. Totally. And you're just sugar, caffeine, buzzing. You actually feel high at some points, especially with the physical labor. It's you're working out.
Well,
you get high, and you're just working even faster and harder. That's what it was like with Phil.
Well, Hilton and I did a pre-workout one time.
Your face went numb?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I know.
I was my whole body was tingling. I could feel my pulse in both sides of my neck just pounding.
I know.
Every time I bent over and stood up, I almost fainted. I'd be
I know.
Fuck, and just felt the elevator doors closing in, and just skin's tingling. It was insanity, and I was like, "This is not okay. This is I feel like
people
too much of this, my body's dying. Doesn't
people
feel
are on
right
this
at
all
all."
the time. Those guys that are jacked, it looks so artificial. You can tell.
Yeah, totally.
You look at them, you're just that does not look right.
That you just hype yourself up with this crazy fucking
you see their
adrenaline
veins
serum.
popping out.
Oh,
and stuff,
I know.
Oh man, I mean Arnold Schwarzenegger's jacked, but he's not like disgusting.
I know, yeah. It's
Like,
like there's a fucking like
line.
threshold where it's like you're. At what point are you just getting big for the sake of being an enormous freak? And like, is it really functioning muscle? Like, is it helping you? Can you actually like live your life easier because of that?
There's a guy like
Just you can't fit through
it's
doorways
like not-
anymore.
no,
You can't move fast either. Bear's gonna kill you. Bear's gonna catch you, no problem. Fucking done dead.
Yeah, you guess you got to. Why
Bear
are you
will kill
doing
any
it?
of us,
Why
yeah.
are you doing it? Is it superficial? Seems like a lot of people are doing everything these days to be so superficial.
Seems like a lot of things are just so shallow right now. Like
We started. Was it Peterson? No, it was
Alan Watts.
Alan Watts. Yeah, and he was talking about how we worship the symbols more so than the actual value. We worship $1 million in the bank rather than the boat, the car, the house that it buys you. You like this just to say, I have this much money. Money's supposed to be a symbol of wealth, actual wealth, tangible things, like your happy family, your beautiful house, all these things. He's like, now we just put value on the symbol. Money. Oh!
Yeah.
No, money actually doesn't. It's just paper, burns up. The great thing about money is it gets you the boat, the house, the whatever, the car.
Yeah.
It's like it actually has things, but we're all just like money consumed, all about symbols all the time. It just seems
and
so
it needs
superficial.
to be circulating too.
Yeah,
like, you
so
need to be spending it, or else like it doesn't flow. Like money needs to be moving, or else the economy doesn't work.
Yeah, and
So
I
you
think
can't be
that's why we
holding on
live
to
in
it.
debt. We live in debt because we have all those social symbols. Every single one of us does, the house and the car and everything, and we're living at what we can't actually afford. We go in debt so that we can have those symbols, so that we can live at a higher stature than we can actually afford. Everyone does it, lives in debt.
Yeah.
In our society.
Our countries live in debt too.
I know.
It's just
I'm sure somewhere else in the world it's different. Someone else listens to this and it's just like, it's different here. Put it on here so we can go live where you live.
I forgot to do this last time. We dropped our Instagram accounts, which we'll definitely do this time. But I've been meaning to throw my email down too, which is on like the Spreaker website at least. But murraytaran@gmail.com, MurrayTaran@gmail.com. I'd seriously doubt I'd hear anything. You never know though. I'd love for people who disagree to type in, send in their disagreements, or anyone who's around who disagrees wants to come talk about anything we're saying, or or if you have I think one of my main goals with doing this is just to spark dialogue and conversation. So so far it's been leading into more and more of that. But yeah, I really encourage anyone who happens to hear it to fucking chirp up if you want and chime in and come talk.
Yeah.
Anyways, what we were just talking about.
Yeah, Instagram.
Oh yeah, places where money might be different or whatever.
Yeah. Other places around the world that are doing things better. Let us know. This is what's going on in Canada. Nova Scotia, things are pretty messed up. We pay the highest taxes in the country. I mean, we also have a really high elderly population. We're known to be stubborn on the East Coast.
Hard drinkers.
Yeah. If you guys are doing things better in another country, let us know so we can put those plans into place. I'd also be curious about what kind of education systems are going on around the world, because I do feel like education is a huge part of how we're going to get the next generation to not do what we want, but do what's best for everybody. I think that should be a more important motto than do what makes you happy. I don't like that do what makes you happy, because I think that's very selfish, and a lot of people, what makes them happy is being fat, lazy pieces of human garbage that shouldn't be on the planet. Just consuming. That's what makes them happy. That's disgusting.
Being happy isn't the idea. And I think what's best for everybody is probably what's best for the individual too, right?
Well, that's
the individual is
just it.
doing what's best for themselves.
The maximum amount of happiness. I always said that even if one person has to suffer so that it brings up the happiness of the other two people, the group happiness goes up. Overall.
And then yours too.
The overall, because you're around happier people. Exactly, inevitably.
Yeah, it's like this crazy feedback loop that we could all be paying into, with our actions. Yeah. And it would pay dividends, because you can't deny that. Just to make it to a relatable example, you and I jump in that frozen lake.
Yeah.
We get out after a couple dips, and we're laughing, we're smiling, we're feeling good, our bodies feel good, our mind feels good, we're in a good mood. I get back and I'm just more willing to engage with people. I'm friendlier, and that's because we subjected ourselves to difficult struggle, or we're in the water for like a fucking half second, like as much as we can stand, but like
just your face is totally consumed. Once you're in that lake water and you're just totally underneath the lake water, there's nothing else but to get the hell out. There's no other option, it seems, until I feel like I have enough mental control to say no. If I have that sort of control over my instinct, then that's how I'm going to be able to change my whole life.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, when I see a commercial and it says buy a donut, buy a coffee, I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have a hard time when I'm watching a movie or I'm watching my favorite artist and they're smoking or they're having a drink and I'm just like, oh, I'd love one of those.
Oh, it's so
I'm just like, what? I was like, can't believe I found myself saying that because that's exactly what a commercial does. Buy this shampoo. And I don't find myself saying like, oh, I'd love to buy that shampoo. But I know next time I go to the grocery store, that one's going to stick out for some reason or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're all just subjected to these ads all the time. And that's one thing that really bothers me is ads. Again, I don't want to get too deep into that, but I just feel like we're so malleable. And for these people to just have what seems like unlimited control over what we consume visually, audio, literally what we eat. It feels like they can mold us into whatever they want.
Well, I don't know if they can, but I feel like they do, just by accident. Because, we can do this, like we got new media, free internet broadcasting. Like, you and I are on the internet broadcasting our ideas right now.
Maybe we should talk about how microphones are always on.
Oh, yeah.
Did you talk a lot about that on your last one?
We talked about that with Dylan when he was on podcast number 2 with Dylan Daphne, and he was mentioning one of these government, it's basically like a spying computer thing and program, and it's just like, it's got tabs on everybody, so to speak, and it just triggered to turn on and start recording when it hears things like terrorist, bomb, plane, building. Okay,
so I can vouch for a part of this is that I think it's Samsung's new TVs have a warning in the pamphlet that says, like, what does it say? It was don't talk about acts of terrorism or something else. Acts of terrorism and something else in front of our TVs because it may be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
You warning with your TV that says don't talk about these things, or also
wouldn't you think they'd be telling please talk about all your terrorist plans in front of this TV?
Yeah. Well, it's almost like they're having a conscience and saying,
yeah,
well, look out. I know there's a microphone in your TV now to tell it when to turn on, but watch out what the hell you're saying.
Yeah.
And I also seen this thing on the Google Home Mini. So there's a $50 version and there's like a $500 version. The Mini one was some sort of malfunction when it came out, that it wouldn't ever stop listening.
Oh. Some
sort of oops.
Whoops.
So you have to buy the $500 one, or else the $50 one is just going to listen to you all the time.
It's going to hear every one of your farts and your fucking...
Yeah. I don't know.
Time you stub your toe.
So one of my friends posted on... I shouldn't talk about my job like this. Someone I know posted on Facebook and said, I love my Google Home Mini. It's so great. And someone else posted this article about how it listens to you all the time. And this guy was like, I don't care. I don't care. What are they going to listen to me talking to them blah, 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 but whatever. I don't care about this at all. You know what I mean? Who cares? And the other guy started going on about his rights. You have a right to not have this happen to you. And this guy's like, I think rights are, what's pushing this country in the wrong direction. For example, all these people with all these rights that can stop you from doing this, stop you from doing that.
Yeah, rights. They're not real.
I know. So this is this is a weird thing. So I don't know if I'll go out of my way intentionally to not buy a TV that has a microphone on it. But I mean, my phone's got that stuff already zooming anyway. So why should I?
Well, I'm not sure there's
any reason.
I fucking fully implore the government, whoever, to shut me down for saying the things I say. Give me your best shot. I don't think they're actually going to do it.
Are they going to get too out of hand? Do we not have control over it? This is where democracy really comes into play, because this is what we based our whole civilization around. But are we actually not going to have a say if the government starts doing stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean,
are we
that's
not?
just not okay.
They work for us. We're deciding this. The government should be scared of the people because we are the democracy. We get to decide as a whole.
Yeah, man. I would love to see way more things go to public vote,
I'm just not so sure, man. I just don't know if the system works. I mean, this is really at the fundamental of my rebellion towards society is that I just don't know if democracy works, and I just don't know if it's a puppet show or not.
Well, man.